Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Age Interrupted podcast. I'm your host, Jill White, functional pharmacist and certified personal trainer. I help women defy aging by learning to put on muscle through lifting weights and following a healthful, balanced nutrition plan for life. The result? A future self you dream to be, healthy, fit, and full of energy and confidence. So today we're going to be talking about something near and dear to me. It's something that took me my whole life to this point to attain, and in many aspects is actually still something that I'm still working on. That is patience. When we're embarking or when we embark on a health and fitness journey, we have to have patience. We have patience with others. We have patience with our children. We have patience at the grocery store. We have patience when we're driving. So we have patience with strangers. But a lot of times we fail to have patience with ourselves, whether it be patience when it comes to having new health and nutrition habits, reaching for the snack that we're used to and having patience to allow ourselves to grow into that new person who is going to reach for the healthy snack or not snack at all. When it comes to seeing results on our body is probably the biggest place that we need to talk about having patience. Because, and I know you've all heard it, you didn't put the weight on overnight. You're not going to lose the weight overnight. Your body didn't become the way that it looks now in a month. And it's not going to look like the body of your dreams in a month. It's not going to look like the body of your dreams in a month. You are going to work hard. You're going to make the right choices. You're going to eat the right food. You're going to eat the right amount of food. You're going to move your body. You're going to use resistance training. You're going to lift weights 3-4 times a week. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. You're going to feel like you put so much time and effort in, and your body is still not going to be your dream body at the end of that month. But we have to have patience with ourselves because it's all additive. It takes time. And so that's something I really wanted to talk about. I posted something in our community Facebook group yesterday talking about, in the perfect world, what does weight loss look like? Like, what can our expectations be when it comes to our weight? And so I'm going to actually pull that up and read it right now because I think it's very important to understand these numbers and to set realistic expectations of ourselves. Because like I said, first of all, this is in like the perfect situation where there's no vacation, no holidays, no stress eating. But this is a realistic rate of fat loss because, of course, it's not just about the number on the scale. It's really not about the number on the scale. It's about what we look like. Because in recomposition, when we're losing fat, gaining muscle, sometimes the number is not going to move a lot. But over time, if you have 50 pounds to lose, you're not going to be putting on 50 pounds of muscle, obviously. So the scale will go down. But let's take a look at these numbers right now. So if someone is overweight, they can expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week in a healthy manner. Right? We've all heard that. 1 to 2 pounds a week. So you feel like you're making all the right choices. You feel like you're sacrificing. You feel like you're giving up on your favorite foods for a whole week and going to the gym, spending time in the gym. And you get on the scale and it's like 1 pound. And it just seems like it should really be more than that 1 pound. That's all it's giving you, 1 pound. And if it's in the middle of a weight fluctuation, maybe it's not even the 1 pound. Isn't that disappointing and frustrating? But that's okay because you're making the right choices. And when you make the right choices day after day, the consistency is what's going to lead to the recomposition. So That's if you're overweight. If you are normal weight and your body's pretty happy with where you're at, maybe you're even lean and you're just looking to get a little more muscle definition, you can expect to lose only a quarter to half a pound a week. Now, if you're one of those people that does have a little more weight to lose, like a lot of people that are looking to do a body recomp, if you take a look at the numbers and you break it up over months, so yes, if it's 1 to 2 pounds per week in general, a lot of times when we're just starting a new program, we can lose, because of water weight and because of inflammation, we can lose 3 pounds a week. So let's just say month 1, we lose 3 pounds a week. Okay, that's 12 pounds, 10 to 12 pounds, depending. We'll call it 12 pounds because this was a brand new fitness journey and we're really seeing some good results. We're really dedicated. We lose 3 pounds a week that first month. Month 2, it will slow down. We have less to lose. We've already implemented all of the habits. So we lose 2 pounds a week. So in month 2, we lose a total of 8 pounds. Now, when you get the 12 pounds after the first month, you can start to see it a little bit, but 12 pounds is maybe noticeable to you, but not too noticeable to other people yet. After month 2, when you've now lost 8 more pounds, you're now at a total of 20 pounds. Other people are starting to notice that you've lost some weight. This is 2 months in, 2 months of dedication in. And this is, like I said, in a perfect scenario where you don't have any increases along the process. And can I be completely honest with you? Most scenarios are not perfect scenarios. Most people will lose weight, gain a little back, lose weight, gain a little back, lose weight, gain a little back. And over time, the trend is down, but it's not always a constant down. That's normal. I'm describing something textbook perfect, but losing and then gaining back a smidge, losing more, gaining back a smidge, more of a slow decline, a trend over time downwards, that's more normal. But after month number 2, now we've lost 8 more pounds. Here's the deal. Between months 3 and 6 of a new fitness and health journey, your weight loss will most likely slow to 1 pound per week. So in those 3 months, you're only losing 4 pounds a month. But in those 3 months, those 4 months, months 3, 4, 5, and 6, in those 4 months, you're losing 4 pounds a week, which means after the 4 months is over, through month 6, now we've lost 16 additional pounds of fat. So that gives us a grand total on average of 34 to 36 pounds. Now that's significant. People notice that. Everyone notices that. You have a new wardrobe. But after that first month, those 12 pounds, no one could really tell. So it's about having the patience to be consistent over time. After week 2, you feel like you've put in a lot of work. You've made a lot of sacrifice, but maybe you're only down 5 pounds and it seems like the same 5 pounds you've lost before, but that's when you have to be consistent and dedicated. And you can't throw in the towel and gain that 5 pounds back, because we all know we can gain 5 pounds in 2 weeks, even though it takes us a month practically to take it off, it seems like. So being consistent, having patience, that patience leads to the consistency. Not expecting to put the work in for 1 month, like I said, and having your dream body, because that's not going to happen. No matter how lean you start, because your weight loss will be even slower. Your recomp will be even slower than someone that has more weight to lose. So remember that weight loss slows as you go. So you're not experiencing stalled progress and possibly not even a plateau. It's just that it slows down over time. You have to be patient and continue being consistent with the good choices, the right choices, and you will get there. And that's why I say to enjoy the process, because it's a lifelong journey, because it's true. I want to take this moment to remind you that if you enjoy this podcast, I would appreciate it if you could leave me a 5-star review. If you're on Spotify or another podcast outlet. If you're on YouTube, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel, Age Interrupted, and also left me a comment below, because those really change the algorithms of YouTube and helps me to reach more women like you, like myself, and we can build this community of mentally and physically strong women supporting each other. You can find me on Facebook at Age Interrupted, and also on Instagram at age_interrupted. So let's talk a little bit more about patience of the scale. The scale is a tool. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The scale is a tool. Yes, it will show us progress, but as I mentioned, depending on water weight, depending on inflammations, depending on how long it's been since you've eaten, the scale may or may not reflect your true weight. So that's why we look at it every 2 weeks and not every day, because we want to see the trend of the scale, not the day-to-day fluctuations. Here's a good example. I had a late dinner one night. This is like this week. Had a late dinner. It was my meal, my last meal of the day, you know, just the way the day ended. I finished at like 9:30 at night. Went to bed and woke up at 5 or 5:30 and weighed the same as I had the week before, because it was after like a week. And I was like, darn it. Went back to bed, and because it's a weigh-in day, and slept longer because it was still bedtime for me, but I don't know why. I don't remember the exact instance of why I had gotten up. And anyways, so a few hours later, 4 hours later, 5 hours later, 9:30 to 10:30, I go to weigh again. I get on the scale, and my weight at that time, 5 hours later, was a full pound lighter. Full pound 5 hours later. Just because the food from the night before had had the time to finish digesting. So that's why people will tell you don't eat late at night. That's a myth. You can eat whatever time of day that you are hungry, as long as you're within your macronutrient count, your calorie count. If you're trying to lose weight, you want to be at a calorie deficit, but you can eat it whenever you want to. Yes, the scale may show a little heavier that next morning. It doesn't mean you gained weight. It doesn't mean you can't eat late at night. It just means your body hasn't finished digesting it. And over time, that trend, you're still going to have lost the same amount of weight, or the scale will still read the same as if you would have ate that same food, but earlier in the day. It's just when you eat late and then wake up early the next morning, your body may not have had time to digest it. Because it takes 3,500 calories to equal a pound of fat. And if you're eating in a deficit, you obviously haven't gained or lost 3,500 calories overnight or in 5 hours to have that big of a difference. So we have to have patience with the scale and remember that it's just a tool and that it does fluctuate. And ladies, depending on what your hormones are doing and your cortisol is doing and all of the things, it can fluctuate by a couple of pounds every single day. So sometimes it does make it hard if we're trying to go by the scale for progress, but knowing that over time, the trend will be down. But here's the thing to keep in mind. Though the scale is a tool, the better tool is pictures. Pictures, pictures, pictures. This is why everyone that comes into my program, you take before pictures and you take every 2-week pictures, because no matter what the scale does, pictures don't lie. They don't lie. And even if the scale is staying pretty constant and you feel a little disappointed, even though we shouldn't. Because if you're making good food choices and you're getting to the gym and or working out at home, you're making the right choices. You're doing what's best for yourself, what's best for your body, what's best for your future. So if it's taking time, so what? You're doing the right things. And this is the things you need to do for the rest of your life. So there's no reason to rush it, even though I know we want to. But just keep doing the right things, no matter what. But anyways, pictures, especially after 4 weeks, usually you can always see a difference even in 2 weeks, from 2 weeks to 2 weeks to 2 weeks. But in 4 weeks, you will see a difference in the pictures, no matter what the scale says, even no matter what the measurements say, because sometimes a measurement, even if it gets a little smaller or not much smaller, when you're losing weight and gaining muscle, because muscle weighs more than fat, your body's still going to shrink and change in an all over fashion. So it may be leaning out up here in the chest, and I'm pointing towards your clavicles for those of you online, that you're not measuring up here. You're not measuring by your clavicles, but you could see it, or your collarbone. So pictures. The best way to continue to have patience is through pictures, even though, like a client I had recently sent in her 2-week pictures, and this was literally just after 2 weeks, and she was in the mentality of, oh, I've been doing all the things, making all the right choices, sacrificing, saying no to the ice cream for 2 weeks, and look at me. I still have these rolls and I'm still soft. It's been 2 weeks. Patience. We have patience with strangers. We have to have patience with ourselves, with our bodies. These are amazing bodies that have done a lot, have carried the weight of the world, have carried babies, have loved our children, our pets, our parents, our spouse, our significant other. We have to love them. We have to love it. Like, we don't, that's a big thing. It doesn't really have to do with patience, but we don't exercise because we hate our bodies. We exercise because we love our bodies and we want to take care of it. Same thing for food. Don't use food as a control over your body, because then that's a whole different mental mindset problem. If you're fasting because you ate too much yesterday, that's the wrong reason to fast. Don't do it. But we fast because we love our bodies and we know how good it is to help our bodies take care of the cells that shouldn't be there, and to get a better mindset with food. But anyways, we'll talk more about that at another time. So have patience with yourself, have patience with your habits, with your physical appearance, with the scale. Make the right choices every day, except for your free meal. Maybe you have a couple of free meals, depending on where you're at in the program. And just love yourself. You're worth it. You're worth making the hard choice for. You're worth it. That's really my message on patience. If you'd like to learn more about working with me, please go to bit.ly/JillWhiteCPT. I'll leave that in the description. Also, feel free, send me an email. I read them all myself, jillwhitecoaching@gmail.com. And as I mentioned earlier, please like or subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at age_interrupted, on Facebook and YouTube at age interrupted. And but definitely leave me a comment on YouTube as well. I am building a community of mentally and physically strong women in the second half of our lives. And I do have a lot of things planned and a lot of just a great future for us all, living our best life. So I hope to see you in one of the channels. Find our Women's Only Facebook group. I will link that below in the comments. Join us there. And until next time, remember to enjoy the process, because it's a lifelong journey. Bye-bye.